What's up? Welcome back to another video. I fixed the issue with my clutch lever where I had to, I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but for a while I had to, what I was calling it double shift. So when I would go to shift down, the lever would get stuck, and then I'd have to push it down and then kick it back up so it was unstuck. So I'd have to do two different kicks just to go down one gear, which was really annoying, but I finally fixed that. So now the bike will be a lot safer because I don't have to double shift. That lady's watching me. This is awkward. But yeah, I'm happy about that. I'll be a little bit safer now and better at riding. But as you can tell by the title and probably the thumbnail, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a thumbnail yet, but I did a poll on Instagram saying that I had this story in mind for a video topic, and last I checked there was 50 votes on it and all of them were yes. So I'm going to be doing that today. I'm going to be telling the story of why I got a police escort home one time. And the reason I'm telling this story is because usually it's one of the things that happen to me that usually when I tell people, they're like, holy shit, what? Like, everyone's always shocked by the fact that it happened. And I figured it will also kind of let you guys know a little bit more about me, I guess. So I figured why not just tell it, kind of just go on the road, hang out with you guys and just talk about it. Figured it might be fun. But before I start telling it, before I get into it, I do want to put out a little disclaimer. So the person involved in this story is my ex-fiance. I'm not going to name drop. I'm not going to say anything about her. I'm just going to tell the story from my point of view. I'm simply telling it to just kind of like I said, let you guys know a little bit more about me, just kind of talk about it because a lot of people say how crazy it is, and just kind of laugh at it now looking back on it. Not laugh at her or anything like that, just kind of laugh at the whole situation. And look back at it as one of those times I really wish I was recording. I really wish I had my GoPro on me because it would have been a great video. But of course I didn't. So unfortunately, I don't have it on video. But this, I highly doubt she's going to see the video. In fact, I'm very confident she won't. But either way, this is in no way meant to bash her. This is not anything against her. It's not to make her look bad. It's not to make fun of her, anything like that. It's simply me telling the story, and just looking back at it. I'm not wishing anything bad on her. I don't want anybody to go find her and message her or anything like that. Good job. But like, yeah, I don't wish anything bad on her. Hope she's doing okay, but this is not to make her look bad or anything like that. It's just me telling the story. No negative intent. Now that I got that out there, basically what happened was, so this was when I had my CBR 300. I never really made videos on it because it was too loud. Like the muffler, the baffle, whatever you want to call it, fell out of the exhaust, so it was too loud to make videos on. Like, you wouldn't be able to hear me over it. So I didn't really have any videos on there. Well, I do, but like not just normal motovlogs of me talking. So it was when I had that bike. It started off like any normal day, and she dropped a decision on me out of nowhere that I was not expecting. I was not ready for, and it led to a full day of fighting, a full day of arguing, which those always suck, but like, they happen. So spent the day fighting. She still went through with the decision anyways, and I ended up breaking up with her. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that because it's kind of like personal, and like I said, I don't want her to look bad or anything like that, so I'm just talking about the whole police escort thing. So I made the decision to break up with her and try to go separate ways. So I left my engagement ring at her house, and I went to my parents because at the time I still lived there. So I went back to my parents' house and started talking to them. My plan was to just cool down, stay home, kind of like relax for the night and just, I don't know, like clear my head, I guess. So after a while of being home, talking to my dad and stuff, I decided if I really wanted to clear my head, I was going to go for a ride. I was going to take the bike out. So I grabbed all my stuff, grabbed my helmet and everything, my gloves, and as I was in their driveway putting that stuff on, I just watched her slowly drive past on the main road and stare at me. And I was like, oh, great, she's waiting for me. So I let my dad know, and I got on the bike anyways. And I went on a route that I used to take all the time when I lived in that area. The first like 20 minutes, I'd say, it was perfectly fine. It's very back roads, like country, rural, so there's very, very little traffic, if any. Like, you don't really see any other cars, so I was pretty much by myself on the road, and it was really nice. I was just kind of taking my time, enjoying the ride, wasn't doing anything stupid, and was just kind of trying to work things out in my head. But as it started getting dark, like darker than this, it was like the sun was down, so it was starting to get really dark. I see this pair of headlights coming up behind me. At first I thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, there's finally someone else on the road. And then they came flying up real fast, and I was like, okay, this person's hauling ass. Can't say I blame them, but they're getting awfully close. I turn around and I realized it was her. She was in her mom's van pursuing me, and she was very close, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. But being on a little 300, I couldn't really just take off like I can on this, so it's kind of screwed. Plus, we were coming up to a very windy portion of the road. It's very like sharp turns and stuff, and it's in the woods too. So lots of blind corners and everything, and like I said, it was getting dark. I had my tinted visor on, so not really the best conditions. But she kept up with me, and I thought I could just tap my brakes right now and she would run me over. But I'm gonna try to like lose her. So I start kind of trying to speed up a little bit, go faster around the turns, and she is keeping right up. In fact, she is about, there's times where she was probably like 3 or 4 feet behind me, if that. So that was a little intimidating, being in the woods at night with her right there, that close. So I was pretty freaked out, but I was trying to just stay calm and kind of get out of the situation and hopefully avoid it. That didn't work. We made it through all the turns with her right on my tail. Didn't lose her. So as we were going, there's this little gravel pullover on the side of the road. And I thought, okay, I'll hurry up and pull into there really quick. Maybe it'll catch her off guard and she'll keep going. Obviously it didn't work. I was just desperate. She pulled in right behind me. So I shut the bike off. I lift up my visor and I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you? And I was asking her why she was doing that. Like, I was basically saying, look, you're way too close. And she was just sitting there, just staring back. with like the most blank expression I've ever seen on her face. So I didn't get any response. I got nothing. She just stared at me. So I said, leave me alone, I don't want to talk. And I started back on the bike. I got on the road and I started going. She immediately started following me, of course. So I was trying to think of what to do. And being that I was on a motorcycle, it's not like I can call anybody. It's not like I can, you know, text somebody or do anything on my phone because, you know, I'm on the bike. So I thought, okay, well, my only option is to go to the police station. So I started driving there. I started riding through town to get there. And she's still keeping right up with me. I gotta give her credit. Like, her driving was impressive. I'll give her credit there for sure. I try to always give credit where it's due. There was a cop, by the way. I try to always give credit where it's due. Her driving was pretty impressive that night. But we're riding through town, going like 10, 15 over. I'm trying to kind of lane split and stuff because, you know, I'm trying to get away, and it wasn't working. She was still keeping up. We get up to this red light, like an intersection before the state police barracks. And this car pulls up beside me, right? Guy rolls down his window and he says, yo, what the fuck is the van's problem? Because he noticed how crazy she was driving. And I was like, oh, that's my ex-fiance. She's kind of chasing me down. Dude said, oh, damn, and put his window back up. There was no, oh, do you need help? Like, do you need me to call somebody? Like, anything like that. He just, oh, damn, and put his window up, which I thought was hilarious. Like, yeah, there's not a whole lot he can do in that situation. Maybe call the cops and say, like, look, this guy's getting chased. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot he can do. Maybe get behind me and kind of block her. I don't know, but he didn't do it, which I think it's funny, but it's whatever. So we turn, I go into the police barracks, like the police area, whatever you want to call it. I pull in there. She pulls up next to me, starts screaming a whole bunch of stuff at me. I'm not going to repeat it because I've already sworn enough in the video, so I can't really repeat it. But it says a bunch of stuff to me and then leaves. And I thought, okay, maybe we're good for the night. As she's leaving, she rolls her window back down, screams a bunch more, and then pulls out. So I thought, all right, maybe this is done. I'll sit here for a couple minutes and then I'll go home. She came back, yelled more while she drove down the road past me. Am I gonna make that? I did, let's go. Started screaming more. And I thought, okay, maybe this isn't gonna end. And then finally, the state trooper pulls up in his car, pulls up to me, which was what I've been waiting for. I was like, okay, finally. He said, hey man, what's going on? So I lifted my visor and I started explaining to him what was happening. I was like, yeah, I'm being chased. Like I told him the whole story. Well, I told him some of it, and he's like, all right, well, you can go ahead and take your helmet off and stuff. So I did. And he's like, are you all right? And hearing that really sucked. That got to me for some reason. I don't know why. But him asking if I was all right, like, kind of shook me up a little bit. So kind of broke down, told him the whole story. And he's like, all right. So he had me call my dad on my phone, and then he took it over. So that when my dad answered, he said, like, hey, this is Trooper so-and-so, and then he kind of filled my dad in. And then he also called her parents, I believe. I'm pretty sure he called her parents as well, which was funny. But yeah, he told my dad the situation and then said what he was going to do about it. So he offered to follow me home, which was super nice of him, especially because, so this was like 10:30 at night. So the two officers that helped were literally about to be done for the night. They're about to get off at 11, so their shift was pretty much over. Like, the one already had his tie partly undone because he was ready to go home. But they offered to help. The one said he was going to follow me home to make sure, you know, I didn't get ran down. The other one went to her house to talk to her. And I was like, all right, I really appreciate it. Sounds great. So we left the barracks together. He followed me home right behind me, which I gotta be honest, having a cop follow you on a bike is never fun. But luckily at the time I only had a 300. He was like, what's the fastest you've ever gone on that thing? And I was like, oh, you know, the speed limit. He's like, look, I really don't care. And I was like, it's just a 300, so it like the tops out at like 95. The CBR 300 does. So I was like, it doesn't go that fast. Oh, come on. Am I gonna ride with this guy instead? R3. I might join him. It's got a NOS sticker on it. He followed me home, and I got some angry messages and phone calls from her and her family about telling the cops and them going to their house. They weren't too happy about that, but I was just happy because the police made sure I actually got home safely, which was very nice of them, especially since they were about to be done for the night. And I actually felt like listened to by the police, which is very rare. Bro, that's twice now. Twice this light has skipped me. But yeah, I was really happy. Sorry, I like don't know how to conclude stories. I'm really bad at this. But I got home safely. I didn't see her the rest of the night. She didn't come hunt me down again, because I think they talked her out of it. So I'm very thankful for the troopers that helped me. I mean, I kind of think it's their job, but like I've also learned that troopers don't always do their job. So for those two, I'm very thankful. I appreciate them doing that for me. It was nice to like feel a little safer knowing that I wasn't going to get ran over from behind by a minivan. But yeah, like I said, I really wish I would have had my GoPro on me. Really wish I would have got that on video. It would have been good, but I didn't. Which it always seems like when you don't have your GoPro on you, that's when the coolest stuff happens, or like the craziest, which really sucks. But it is what it is. It would have been hard to focus on making a video and staying alive at the same time. Anyways, so yeah, that's how I got a police escort home one night. How and why, I guess. Fun stuff. Like I said, looking back at it now, it's just kind of crazy. Like I'm not mad. Yeah, she literally almost killed me. Very easily could have. All I had to do was tap my brakes and it would have been over. But like, I'm not mad. I don't wish anything bad on her. Please don't go try to find her or whatever. But shit happens, you know. Everyone's young and does stupid stuff at some point. So yeah, I just figured I'd share that story with you guys, especially since the poll results really seem to want it. I hope I did a good job telling it. It's really hard for me to like stay focused and tell a story, especially while I'm riding. So I hope I did a good job and didn't kind of screw it up. But yeah, that was. If you want me to do more stories like that, I have plenty. I can. Just let me know. I just figured that one specifically would be more entertaining. Hopefully I don't get any police escorts again, unless it's because I'm so famous. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was story time for the day. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.